It is Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, and we made it another week. We did it.
It's 8 o'clock here.
Well, you're in the not cool time zone is what you're in. Sorry, Steve. And I just realized, I think when I hit go live, it looked like we were only going out in 720. So I apologize if there's a setting that I screwed up, but it's supposed to be, everybody's supposed to be in 1080. So anyway.
Hey, George, how much you pay for the new guy? Well, it's too much. Too much.
Too much. Yeah, I'm showing high def 720 on my end.
I don't know if I can change it. So we'll fix it next week. So anyway, apologies to those of you who are watching on a high definition television TV.
On the podcast.
Where you
there you go.
You get our full voices in HD.
High resolution. High five.
But I thought when I set this up as a regular stream that would go out in HD because I have it set in HD, but alas, here we are.
720 is still technically HD.
It's SD. But if you're paying, because like we told everybody last week, we got dipped by StreamYard, we're having to pay doubles. We might as well use up all that bandwidth.
I was going to say, SD is technically 480.
Really?
Yep.
My, how things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shout out to everybody in green. Thanks for being our channel members and our channel supporters. During the intro, your name should have popped up. If you are a Please Copy Studio and above, you should have seen your name pop up. If you didn't, let me know. And it looks like one of our members is late to the game tonight. So as soon as he gets his things sorted out, we'll get him
KP
added
duty
back in here. Yeah, he's picking up all the empties and cleaning the toilets. So,
EP and latrine.
That's how we roll here in the clubhouse. Steve, how's your week been, buddy?
Week's been good. Been busy. Didn't get a video done. Yeah. Well, so had a new employee start last week, and I had 2 new ones start yesterday. So I have 3 that I'm training at once.
That's fun.
Poor souls.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who to feel sorry for, the trainees or the trainer.
The trainees. Of course.
I can
you
see
guys
Steve
know me.
Getting back, looking at his Discord and his TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
I
So,
hate it. Figure that Python out.
Well, yes, that would be
how long
the
it
case,
takes them to figure
except
out
for
the
where I
cables
work.
unplugged in the router.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to have my phone.
Oh, that's right, because you're on a top secret military mission.
Not top, but yeah, in a military
Well,
area,
if you can't take your phone, that's pretty secret.
Okay.
See, I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm giving you the build up.
But we did get the go ahead. I will be in Honolulu the week before Thanksgiving.
That sounds fun.
Yes.
I wish everyone on the podcast could see Joe doing the hula dance.
Yes.
Yep. I will be activating.
Dang, I thought he said he was going to be in a hula skirt.
Hula skirts on the air.
If there's enough alcohol involved, yes.
Well, normally there is when we go on vacations or work trips.
So, work trips. But yes, I will activate both as my call and W2HRC from Hawaii.
Well, have you tested this equipment that you plan on taking?
Yes.
And
taking my 891.
You can get out past 200 or 300 miles with it? Because you're going to need some.
That's a lot of water out there.
10 meters will work.
Until it doesn't.
Hey.
It works. I mean, you should be able to hit Japan pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try to get everything pointed east, so I get the states.
Oh,
I wonder if I can hit you from South Carolina. That's going to be the chore. I've gotten Eric from there.
I'd be working all the J's first. U.S. Kuwait.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll be easy to work.
I'd be trying to work them on 2 meter.
Well, so I'm going to start in the Clubhouse Discord.
You're not going to spot yourself?
There. Nope. I'm not going to spot myself first. I'm going to spot myself in the Discord. And then from there, I'll move out to the others. Kind
of a shame that this is a U.S. territory, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you could say you're just going on DxPedition.
It is DX, actually.
It's territory, man.
It is.
Nah, don't count.
Well, our guests are probably going to disagree with you because they're putting in a lot of effort to get to a DxPedition.
They are.
They didn't just hop on an American Airlines flight.
How'd you know I was flying
Southwest.
American?
That's who you always fly. I mean, you could fly Southwest. We fly to Hawaii, so I don't think you want to get stuck on an 800. But you got that government money, man. Let that government money put you in business or first class. We don't offer first class.
You know what's funny? My travel system does not offer Southwest.
You need to rectify that.
Shane, I'm sorry, but Steve, Shane's got government budget and government paychecks completely mixed up here.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So true.
A big misconception.
Depends on how big the government is. Could be a state government, could be a local government, could be a national government. They all got different budgets.
Go to the food stamp office and apply for food stamps and see how much they give you a month, and that's about what the pay is.
You know, I worked a couple of government contracts when I was a little bit younger. I worked for two Bureau of Land Management jobs, and we were working firefighter stuff from a helicopter, and those contracts paid money.
Yeah, contracts are different. I offered my 107 services when I left my old agency, but I told them that it would be under a contract, and they just kind of laughed about it.
Oh, yeah.
And they sent two new guys to go fly the drone.
Of course they did.
Of course they did.
I've got a big drone here in Dallas that still hasn't flown yet, so maybe we can well, because we can't take off without a waiver from the FAA because it weighs 180 pounds. Oh. So, yeah. It has a payload capacity of an additional 80 pounds. So I've got to work on that waiver before I could fly it.
Owned by Southwest or what?
No, it's owned by a private individual who enlisted my service. It's not agriculture. It's going to have a special use. But I am under a document that says don't flap your yap on the interwebs.
Yep.
That's dangerous.
You've already said too much. Okay.
I haven't said anything I couldn't say. I just can't say what we're going to do with
pictures
it.
Up of it.
It's a Flycar 30. You're more than welcome to. That's a public domain.
I think I know what that one is.
You should. It's huge.
Yeah,
they use it to deliver parts in places that don't have
You
roads.
could solo flight on it.
I could probably ride it. Wait, I weigh more than 80 pounds. Never mind. Phil's got it right. Darn NDA. But anyway, I digress. Joe Brett, let's move over to you because we got a lot to cover tonight.
Good. I'm Joe Brett, K5YVY, and I'm here another Tuesday night and glad you are too. Let's get with the show, Shane.
The show is, we need to put him on as the intro to the podcast.
Well, there's your
Speaking of,
I was going to say that was clean.
I owe an apology to our podcast listeners because I've been behind, but I'm almost caught up. I got Mike's episode launched and I've edited James's episode. So it should go out tonight or tomorrow. I still got to go add all the commercials because if you let the auto ad bot go in there and do it, it put in like 17 ad breaks in an hour and a half. And I was like, hey, anybody gonna listen to that? I wouldn't listen to that. So I go back to old school radio days. And I listen every 15, 20 minutes, you get a couple of ads. I try to keep it where you can follow along. Where did Izzo go? Because he popped in here, but he ain't here no more.
Yeah, he didn't have a camera for some reason. So
we don't have to see him. We just need to hear him. That's all. There he is.
Speak and you shall receive.
I try to keep intro short.
Right. Izzo, give me a thumbs up if you want to come in the show or if you're still working on stuff.
Man, just put him in here and let's all watch him sweat.
Are you having a bad night, Izzo? You look mad.
So unhappy.
You look angry. You got more hair than all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Your blood pressure's up, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you speak. Oh, we didn't hear that. Go back to straight.
You don't want to hear that. I'm gonna start swearing in Italian, Polish, and a few other languages and slangs and a few other Yiddish,
some Slavs.
Some Slav.
What's got your blood pressure up, man?
The Google, the Chrome is not connecting and this and that and StreamYard. How much are we paying for StreamYard?
A lot.
Way too freaking much.
Yeah.
I should not have to. Do they know who we are?
Shane, will you contact StreamYard and see if they'll do a StreamYard
I need an ISO
elderly.
patch.
Tutorial.
Are you on the iPad again?
I'm on the iPad.
That's why.
I can't stop it from moving.
No, don't worry about it. We ain't worried about it.
So I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna have my cigar and I'm not gonna say anything but a few positive things.
Some positive affirmations.
Get that thing plugged into some juice.
Or I do. Do I have something? Do you know how? Steve,
do you have much battery power he's got?
Steve, tell him what I got here at the house. And I got a few hidden things at the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got enough battery power to last him through another Hurricane Helene.
Just check.
Battery power, propane.
I just didn't want him to get this far to actually make an appearance to run out of battery. That's all.
You got propane and propane accessories.
I got cigars. I got box macaroni. I mean, we're good, man.
Well, speaking of cigars, what are you smoking tonight?
This is the Inch.
Oh, the Inch.
Imagine
it's an oldie but a goodie. I love it.
I went to go grab my McAuliffe. I wanted a McAuliffe, and I grabbed this by mistake. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on tonight? I'm excited for tonight's guest. Do we have a guest tonight? Is he in the?
Yeah,
we do.
We have 3 of them. They're down there waiting for us to get done.
I gotta tell you something. When you booked them, I went to their website. What was that? Maybe about a month ago, 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
I am so excited because I'm a guy. I want to retire and be on an island.
Me too.
I went to the Google and I looked at the history of that island and what's going on. Let me tell you something. I could just wear my flip-flops every day, play a little radio, eat some fish, have some good smoke. I would be happy. I would be happy. So I'm excited for these guys. I am so excited for them, and I want to work them.
For those of you that have not clicked the link that's pinned to the top of the chat, we have a DxPedition group that's going to join us tonight, and they'll be in here in just a minute. I just want to say, if you see this, I got a new chair for the office here because I had when I got the first chair, it was sufficient, and after I paid off a bunch of debt, I was like, you know what, I have some extra cash. I'd like to kind of upgrade my stream position here. So this thing like sits right, and it sits right below your neck and puts a little pressure on your shoulders like somebody's giving you a massage. So if I fall asleep tonight, that's
write that off?
You are not going to fall asleep.
Yes. Of course I'm going to write it off.
Blow your phone up.
What does that cost you? Because I got me a girlfriend to do that. So there's a choice. Get yourself.
Yeah. So this was from Staples for $129 on sale. So.
That's a whole lot cheaper than a girlfriend.
Girlfriends are a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah, this one's worth it. She's a very, very nice lady. Absolutely.
Good.
Well, shout out to Wayne, W5WNR, member for 7 months, using his members shout out. If you have not used yours yet, you get one a month. And it's down there at the bottom. Hit the $sign, and it'll give you a free one if you haven't used it already. We like to acknowledge you guys because without you, this would not be possible. And we cut a podcast for another show. I don't want to give that away. And we found out, was it February or January?
Of
what? Our 200th show.
In January, yes.
200 shows of this nonsense.
Good Lord.
Isn't that crazy?
Would you call it nonsense?
Always.
Shenanigans.
Always.
Shenanigans for sure.
So looking forward to that. Beer Snack did say that I could give some stuff away. So we may do a little bit next week, and then we'll save up for some good stuff for the 200th show. We're going to invite all of our friends that have joined us throughout these last 200 episodes. I'd like to get Callum live. I don't know if we can get Callum live. I'll ask him if he'll make an exception because it's because we're the tying gap, but that would be awesome if we could get Lord Callum to join us live during our 200th show. I'm looking forward to that.
I got an idea. Now, remember the last time I said I have an idea? We
lost like $500.
But guess what, though? Let's all request that we go to his place and we hang out with him for a day.
Oh, I'd love it.
We do our show live in his warehouse. And so what if it's at midnight? Because we're going to have and he can come in his slippers and his bathrobe, get himself a cup of milk or a cup of tea. Hey, we'll see you later, and we'll take care of shipping or whatever. Wouldn't that be fun to go?
Oh my God!
Across the pond,
live from the DX Commander headquarters. That'd be fun. Steve, did you know your background's not up? I didn't know if we were going to see the ghost of Christmas Past coming through. So
shouldn't let me go fix that.
Okay.
He doesn't have any.
I was just trying to protect him.
We don't want him getting grounded.
Yeah, we don't want him to miss a few shows because of a.
If it's not for a net, if it's not for a
slip,
2 meter net,
it's not for net, right?
Oh boy!
All right, Izzo. Well, what's new with you, man? How's your week been?
It's been interesting. I've been getting more playing POTA. The lady now knows how to put up an antenna.
Oh.
She doesn't want to get her ham radio license. I respect that. But this girl knows exactly what to do when it comes to an end-fed half wave. And she knows how to roll up coax too.
Does she do it the mic way?
Yes.
Over and under?
Over. It was amazing. And speaking of which, I switched feline, and I'm not going to get into the companies. I don't think it's fair right now. I'm not that kind of person, but I had an issue with one major coax company. The coax kept kinking, and there's something wrong. And I properly
because no one likes a kinky coax. Nope, that's not good.
And then guys
stops the bits from flowing.
Stops the bananas from getting out.
And then all of a sudden, you know me, I carry an extra, piece or two. I swap it out, and all of a sudden, my signal goes from like a 5.3 or a 3.3 all of a sudden to a 5.8, 5.9. What does that tell you? I don't think it was propagation in the last 10 minutes.
It's because you got the kinks out.
Got the kinks out.
Mm-hmm.
The bananas could make it out a lot easier.
The new stuff came in today, so I can't wait. I'm off. What am I off? I'm off.
Is it from Italy?
I don't want to get into it.
Well, I'm not going to mention a name. It's either from
Neon Green.
It's either from Houston, or it's from Italy, or it's from Mississippi.
It's from the truck stop.
Hey, you can
from the 76 truck stop.
Actually, that's a horrible idea because it's a whole lot more expensive.
Oh yeah, it is.
Guess what, though? But if you need that right angle connector, I don't think they do BNC to UHF though. But we all know you need something at a truck. You go to the truck stop. They're open 24 hours a day.
I go to Amazon and I get it delivered the next day.
Sometimes. All right,
Prime,
Prime.
We
just jumped. The stuff that came in yesterday was from Houston.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's good stuff.
So we got.
Is it the color stuff that
I ordered
Steve was
green.
okay.
Steve, what did you just show? Greenish kind of a.
The green. Yeah.
I got the green.
That's the green.
I didn't care.
It's bright.
I brought 3 rolls at 30 feet each. I'm going to try them because I will always use feedline, whether it's here in the parks or whatever.
Did you use Mike's discount code?
I used Jason's discount code for the people in Houston.
Oh man,
I didn't know Mike had one.
Mike's going to get mad.
Mike's got one too.
Anything coax Mike's got. Whether it be Italy, Houston, I don't think he has a Mississippi discount.
Guess what? I spread the love. Listen, I give everybody.
He needs to get that South Carolina discount.
Everyone gets equal hugs from this.
There ain't nothing in Mississippi to get a discount on no more.
I'll say Wireman's right here in South Carolina.
So Halloween is what? Thursday. So if I'm going to do some POTA, I got to get my butt out early and get home before 3. Get the house ready for those little. Because we always got that one kid who wants a radio. And
you made
cigar for me. Oh, Mike, I love you.
Wait, you're giving cigars to kids for Halloween?
They asked me 2 years
ago. When you get old enough,
I guess so. Well, kids to him might be 26, but.
So I'm gonna go play POTA a little bit Thursday, and I'd like to go play some POTA on Friday and try this feed line and see if there's a difference.
Yeah.
I am 99.9999% that it's not me, because I've been dealing with feline for a real long time, and it's just that when stuff starts getting kinky and you stretch it out, you lay it in the sun, you roll it up properly, and then it re-kinks, there's something, I don't know, But
Careful, Joe Brett.
Joe, you okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just going
Joe
to
and
keep
his
talking.
kinky
I'm not going to
coax.
look at Joe Brett. I'm not going to look at Joe Brett. In all fairness, the other company, I have bought so much from them. I still like their product line. Matter of fact, my DX Commander is laid out with theirs and a few other antennas. So it's not like I'm mad. I want to try something different to see if there's.
Well, Mike did a video where he compared a couple of companies that he buys coax from, and and there were some that the one company was better at, and there were others that the other company was better at. So it's truly.
That's great. Are we going to have a DxPedition show tonight, or?
No, we're going to talk about Kiki Coax.
No,
we'll get there in a minute.
I'm not going to talk tonight. I just said I'm not. Don't get me going. I'm not going to talk tonight. I'm just going to sit here and have a cigar.
Yeah, he's been talking for 15 minutes.
I'm out.
Yep. All right.
Thanks for showing up, Izzo.
Shane?
All right, so I'm gonna give a wave to our friends down below. Y'all give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. But
they all just gave you the finger.
I know, I saw that. But I would like to welcome to the YouTube channel. We have Greg W6IZT. We have Nathan K4NHW. I think I read these right. And Connor K9LSV. And these guys are doing a fantastic thing in amateur radio. We'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, let's get to know these guys. And we'll start with Greg. Greg, welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. Thanks for agreeing to come to this train wreck. How are you, man?
Y'all are crazy.
We haven't even got started.
I've been called a lot of things.
And you know what? The problem
Crazy's
is
the best one.
The problem is kinky color.
See what happened here? Look at this. It's empty.
That's what happens when you keep me in the green room for 20 minutes.
We'll come back around to you if you need to take a run.
Hey, honey, bring me some more wine.
That's when you know the guest is going to fit right in.
And we're really excited to tell you about this adventure we're getting ready to pull off here in a couple of weeks.
Well, we'll get to John. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Got to choke the
Be nice. We got some good people here.
Don't proofread, Shane, by all means.
I didn't look at that before I put it up on the screen.
You can completely trust our chat.
These guys are going halfway around the world to put something up with them, to put a
all right, let's get this train back on the rails. Greg, welcome to the show. Give us a little background. What got you into this crazy hobby, and we'll jump into DxPedition. Technician, amateur, general, extra. Where you at? What got you here?
So I've been licensed since 1968, and I've actually held every class of amateur radio license that the FCC has ever issued.
So you got the novice,
technician, conditional, general, advanced, and extra. And I've had my extra about 40 years now.
Nice.
You're like a tube radio. You're like a tube radio.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a little bit of hum, and you got to whack it every once in a while to make it work. But it's okay.
Hey,
so
story of my life.
I got into DX in the mid 80s, and it all started with one contact. And I can remember this now because I just joined CW Ops, which is probably about 25 years later, wherever, just dragging my feet. But I made a contact with a place called Glorioso Island, and it was fairly rare. And I didn't know at the time what this was going to lead me to. So I started doing DXing, and it got real, it consumes you. You're chasing DXCC, and then you're chasing 5-band DXCC, and then you're chasing honor roll. And then you get to the top of the honor roll. It's like, what do I do now? But so I started, my first DxPedition was in 1994. I was on a business trip to Taiwan and operated from Taiwan. About 10 years later, I met a gentleman named Bob Alphin, K4UEE. And we just lost Bob earlier this year. And Bob invited me on a contest trip to Costa Rica. And the morning of the contest, we woke up and all the radios had stopped working. And so did some troubleshooting, got on the phone with Elecraft. we determined that there was a static discharge of some sort, and it took out the pin diodes in the radio. They would receive just fine, but they wouldn't transmit. So, pin diodes, you just don't go down to Radio Shack in San Jose, Costa Rica and buy some pin diodes.
Now you can't get Radio Shack anywhere.
Exactly.
That was my favorite store.
So I worked on the radios. We found some silicon diodes. I had the engineers from Elecraft. It was Skype at the time, was the dominant internet communications platform. And we fixed the radios. And Bob said, "You can fix anything." And I said, "Well, yeah, maybe." So
at least once,
exactly. Yeah. So then I got invited a trip to go to Desiceo, and that led to another. And I go down to the Caribbean a lot and operate ham radio. I think I've been on 35 DX vacations and DxPeditions over the years.
Nice.
Nice.
I've been to some pretty rare places. I think I've been to 2 or 3 top 10 DXCC entities, actually 3, and
a humble brag.
And then we were on Navassa in 2016, and there was a team member, a guy on the trip. His name's George Wallner, AA7JV, and George is a very successful businessman, entrepreneur. And George got this idea of building these radios in a box that you could drop off on a beach on an island and operate from the boat. So I got involved in developing this product, assisting George with it. And his radios in a box are pretty big. They're water cooled. They're environmentally controlled.
Oh, wow.
And we were in the Bahamas in 2022. And I said, "George, why don't we build some small ones that address a different set of use cases?" And he said, "Yeah, sure. Let's go off and do it." And I didn't do anything for a while. And in 2023, I went with George. George has this massive yacht. It's a purpose-built DxPedition boat, 160 feet long, 40 feet beam catamaran. It's
slightly jealous.
Yeah, it's pretty special. So after Ducey, I started working on what I'm calling the next gen rib. And it's small. One person can carry it, fits in the overhead on an airplane, and it's designed to address a different set of use cases. And one of those is complementing a DxPedition. Typically when you set up your radios and antennas, because you plug these things in, you hook up an Ethernet, you hook up the antenna, and you're on the air. And
so let me pause you for a second. So for those that might not be familiar, what's a rib? Is it an acronym or?
It's rib is that's food, man. You got them in Texas.
Well, I know that, but we put barbecue sauce on them. And if you put barbecue sauce on and you throw a juice to it, that might be not good.
Put the barbecue sauce on my rib.
It's not a baby bag.
Network-enabled, automated radio in a box.
Okay.
Primarily used with connectivity over Starlink for remote operators.
Oh, nice. So that's purpose built for me because I do a lot of remote operations. Since I'm in an apartment, so I can't make contacts out of the radio that's in my apartment with an antenna. So I use others.
But Greg, can you program it to turn on a stove?
It's got a Raspberry Pi, and I can program it to turn on anything.
There's a hidden joke in there.
Where's Kyle when you need him?
Yeah,
where's Kyle?
Kyle's familiar with it.
So a radio in a box. So you can drop that on a location, set up the antenna, go back to the boat, and operate the radio that's sitting on the island. Correct?
Or you can operate it from around the world.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
So
okay,
that's a great segue to what we're doing. So
yeah.
We built this. We took it on an expedition. I didn't take it. It went on an expedition to Juan Fernandez Island earlier this year.
I got that in my logbook.
We've taken it to Dutch St. Martin, French St. Martin, and my YL kind of put this bug in my ear. She says, "Well, why don't you get some young people involved in this?" And I said, "Great idea." So Nathan will tell you that I never go to Dayton or never plan to go to Dayton. Except like 2 weeks before, and then I changed my mind.
That's kind of what I did.
So I went to Dayton, and had a chance meeting with a gentleman named Neil Rapp. And Neil is a great title for him. Trying to think. He's sort of a mentor for the Youth on the Air group. And we met on Sunday.
That sounds like Steve Goodgame.
We met on Sunday at Dayton, and on Tuesday, 2 days later, we had a press release that we were partnering with Yoda to get some youth involved in DxPeditions, leveraging the technology that we're talking about. So we've got this trip coming up to Rotuma, and we're leaving in a couple of weeks. Our on-island team consists of 3 older hams, Nathan, K4NHW, Dean, W2FQ, and myself. And we have 3 young hams coming on board. Connor, KD9LSV, Jamie, M0SDV from the UK, and Lucas, LY7J from Lithuania. And that's pretty cool in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really cool. But here's the icing on the cake. We've got 43 young hams who are going to operate the expedition remotely over Starlink.
That's cool.
And
that's cool.
I've got some stats teed up I want to share with you.
So pause there. Let's get to know Nathan and Connor right quick, and then we're
Okay,
gonna
I'll
jump
all
back.
night if you don't shut me up.
We'll jump back into it. So Nathan, K4NHW, welcome to the Clubhouse.
Welcome.
What got you into ham radio, and what got you into this crazy thing of DxPeditions?
I'm just trying to figure out where I made bad life choices in order to be here right now.
Yeah, me. I did 189 shows ago. And I went to Mexico and decided to hit record while I was half drunk on the beach somewhere. But that's a story outside of this.
So back in
YouTube members can see that episode.
So back in the mid 2000s, I was the assistant 911 director for a 911 agency up in like the North Georgia mountains. And these guys kept coming in with this, like, we're going to be your backup. We want to, be your communications guru and all that kind of stuff. I was like, we got a communications guru. It's called the government, and it's all of our, stuff. So, anyways, but they kept coming back, and then they started like trying to get us all into like the hobby. Oh, you just got to take your license, all that kind of stuff. And I studied. I failed the test by one question. I really got angry at myself, and then I just kind of walked away from it. 5 years later, there was a friend of mine who kind of invited me back and kind of led me down the road in order to get licensed. And I did. So I started looking up people that was in my area, and I got connected with Bob Offen as well. And he was the one that introduced me with Greg, and it all went downhill from there.
It happens.
So
73 here.
So no, I mean, it was great, and I got a lot of really good advice from both of them. They basically said, just go to the Caribbean, operate, and just have fun with it. And my first trip was down to Haiti back in 2010, right after the earthquake. We were actually down there doing relief missions, and I figured I'll take my Yaesu 857 down and get on the air and do pileups. I had zero idea what I was doing.
That sounds like me on POTA, so don't feel bad.
Somebody's got some like recordings about my operating down there, and I refuse to listen to them. I just there's nothing good that can come out of that. But so 8-9 countries later, and I started getting invites, and I've known.
Wait, 9 countries later?
It's been about
I gotta go back. As in like DxPedition said 9 different countries?
Yes.
Wow.
So is this like mostly Caribbean stuff, or is this kind of around the world, or?
It's mostly Caribbean. I did operate over in Europe whenever we were in Sweden, and then I also went to Svalbard, which was about 500 miles away from the North Pole 2 years ago.
All right. Humble brag.
Wow.
What's been your favorite so far?
Svalbard, 100%. 100%.
Really?
Probably.
From a
And what
Georgia
was
boy,
the
you like
highlight
being
of
cold?
that?
I mean, it was just a really neat place to actually go up there. And that's really where I really got interested in FT8. I was like an FT8 hater, like right off the bat. But then you start like looking at like the propagation, you kind of see it moving from like east to west, and stuff started to open up, and I'm just sitting there watching it. And it was just great views. Glaciers, there's the global seed vault. It's up there. It was just a really cool, magical place to be able to operate from, and I was very fortunate to be able to actually do that.
That's awesome.
So
Again,
Nathan had mentioned how far north Svalbard is. We were so far north, the northern lights were south of us.
Oh,
That is not even a joke either. They were totally south.
And you probably get to see a lot more of them than we get to see because you're right up there next to them.
Right.
We never
That's
saw
crazy.
Them. We never saw them.
You never saw them?
Never saw them.
Really?
There was no solar storms while you were there?
South of us.
no,
We don't
they were
permit
north of them.
solar storms when we're on expeditions.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
So, a quick question for Nathan.
Yes, sir.
We understand the islands around the world. You get by boat, helicopter. I've read some of the logistics, and I like that kind of stuff. I like the logistics of it. But to go up to the North Pole region, that must be a serious logistic. We need to really sit down and figure this, because it's not like you're taking roads and I don't know if you're doing dog sled teams and time of the year. I'm sure all these factors have got to come in to an expedition like that, which is so unique in itself, correct?
So just a little bit, yeah. So I mean, granted, it's probably not as bad as it sounds. I mean, granted, we were not at the North Pole. We were probably within about 500 to 600 miles away from it, and into the town that we were in Svalbard. There's a commercial airport, so it was American Airlines from the north part of Norway.
And are you guys funding this yourself, or are just all through contributions? When you say I've done 9, I've done 10, whatever. Is this all through the various groups that help? Hey, get this on the air. We're going to help you, but you're also raising money. Unless you guys tell me you are all wealthy, rich, and if you want a friend, you got 4 guys here would love to be part of it. No, seriously, because there's also the financial side to support the logistics of it. Correct.
I want to do a DxPedition to Sealand. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
So I want to let Greg talk about the fundraising portion of this particular trip. The vast majority of all of the others have been pretty much self-funded. This is the first one that I've been on where we've actually, taken in donations and all that kind of stuff. A couple of things, like I said, was whenever I was going back and forth to Haiti, and then others I kind of mixed in a vacation where if we were going to Jamaica, I would take some equipment and all kind of stuff. So, but yeah, the vast majority have been completely self-funded, and it's just fun to do so. And you know what? The reason why I go to the Caribbean, I'm in the Southeast U.S. anyways. It's cheap to go down there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
As opposed
and the weather's almost always nice.
As opposed to the loan I'm still paying off whenever I went to Svalbard 2 years ago.
Well, Nathan, it's great to meet you. Let's jump down to Connor, KD9SLV. I assume you're the youngest person of the group, or close. Well, I think Key's the youngest person. But what got you into amateur radio and then DxPedition? So that's because that's a whole other realm of ham radio.
Well, thanks, Shane. Yeah. So to start off, I got interested in amateur radio back off way long time ago. Like I was in 8th grade. We got a little bug. Operated a Jamboree on the Air event, and so did the radio merit badge, did all the fun stuff associated with that. Fast forward to freshman year in college, I went to school at Bradley University, and just started trying to find what you're interested in, what activities you want to do. And amateur radio initially stuck out, and then it's run ever since for the amateur radio side. Some of you probably know me because you know my sister. Everybody, I know a lot of the Clubhouse crew knows my sister.
Not who?
Hey, now who?
Are you serious? No kidding. You're related to who?
Yep.
So you didn't know that?
No,
Hey, Connor,
he's
I didn't
surprised.
know you had a sister. She might be going with us. You might be staying home.
She's an incredible lady. She is
Very much,
incredible,
yes.
And I love working with her on the air. She's a good lady, very good lady. So there you go.
So the deal is I got licensed, then got her, and then you guys roped her all in, and now
Oh, it's Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kyle's good friends of mine. I'm now after I've been part of contesting and did a bunch of portable operations and such. Done POTA, done multi-op contesting, done a bunch of stuff like that. And so I got reached out. Actually, I've kind of, you pick up the hunting DX, kind of like you do POTA, hunting DX all the time. And so that's kind of picked up over and over in the last, say, 18 months or so, just now getting out of school and getting placed and just having various different times. And so I picked up more picked up working the DxPeditions more so now that's like the one thing you can hit between that and contesting. It's like those things are very short, condensed. You can work there most of the time around the clock, and you can fit it in when you like to. And so I actually got reached out from a couple people and said, hey, what do you think about going on a DxPedition? And I'm like, play radio. I'm like, oh, you guys.
What's
radio?
DxPedition?
No, I knew what it was, but I'm like,
What
okay.
country? What country are you going to?
I was like timeline and what more instead of country, it was like timeline, because of course I'm just starting. I'm still beginning. Still got a entry career. Still trying to figure out what you can do and figure out if the timeline's going to work out. And fortunately enough, it was working out for this one. So I just helped out joined, and it's going to be a blast.
Connor, my prediction, you're going to look at this 30, 40, 50 years from now, and you're going to see what an incredible opportunity you had in the fall of 2024. Not only going to another country, you're playing ham radio. You're going to learn so much. You're going to be with a whole different bunch of guys, maybe have a little bit in common, maybe something's not in common, but you're going to walk away from this maybe with some sensory overload. But when you start really thinking about it, when your head hits that pillow, like I said, man, I'm happy for you and everybody else, because this is a lotto ticket.
I'm happy and slightly jealous.
Oh, we are jealous.
If I'm being honest.
We all want to throw us in your suitcases and just bring us along.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
So I got something there. So the deal is when that offer came by, I was like, okay, keep in mind, this is in the middle of November, runs all the way through December. It runs through the holiday. It runs through Thanksgiving holiday. So it's like, okay. I'm like, I call Caitlin first. I don't say, hey, I'm asking her. I said, can you get away with, or I said, I'm going to be gone for Thanksgiving. And she's like, why? She's like, a DxPedition. She's like, we'll make this work.
I'll cover for you, bro.
Exactly. Right.
Hey, Connor,
yeah.
I cannot remember the last time I was home for Thanksgiving.
There you go.
There you
Always
go.
on a trip somewhere.
There you go.
I wanted to carry on and to a question that Izzo had asked Nathan about funding. This operation is not self-funded. We are very much in the throes of raising money for this trip. Just to put things in perspective, the cost of shipping our gear to Rotuma was $15,000.
Oh yeah,
that's just gear.
That's one way.
Oh yeah.
We're leaving most of our stuff on Rotuma because it has zero value when you look at what it's going to cost to ship it back. All we're bringing back is the electronics. Everything else is a write-off. Now,
so in other words, if I want an antenna, I got to just get my butt over to the island and scoop up an antenna.
Yeah, the antenna's still there. Just plug into it.
So when we leave, we'll clean everything up. It'll be packed and stored. There are a number of places you can get to from Fiji that are DXCC entities. That gear will potentially be available for somebody to use, and they won't have to spend the tens of thousands of dollars.
I like that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I
that's
love
awesome.
That's paying it forward. I love stuff like that.
And
awesome.
One of the things about getting young people involved is there's two elements, two hurdles. One is time, and the other is money. We got one of the major DxPedition funding organizations to pay for the young operators' plane tickets.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And this is just the beginning of a project. And so we're looking at taking this forward. But, we can't do this without the help of the major funding organizations, clubs, and hams like you.
Is there a link that we could post here as well as for Team Replay that people can donate if they would like?
Shane, can you pull up our website?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just happen to have that available. It's funny you say that.
We can run a banner on there.
A minimal amount of rehearsal took place.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. There you go.
So our website is rotuma2024.com.
Also pinned in the chat.
You can send a check, or we accept PayPal. We're operating financially under an organization called Pacific Islands DX Group. They are a 501c3. Your donations are tax deductible.
That's even better.
Check with your financial professional.
Yeah.
Smart man.
I love the disclaimer there, Greg. Let me take care of a couple of housekeeping items here. I want to acknowledge Frank. He said, great guys to have on. How to use your member chat or lose it. It is Spooktober. Phil, thank you for the being a member for 16 months. Let's see. Frank, 12 months. Thanks so much. I know you've been a member for longer than that, but YouTube lost count. Thanks for the 16 months. Don't forget to fall back Sunday. Daylight savings time ends. I hate that because now I have to get up at 5 a.m. to go fly with the balloon.
Change the batteries in your smoke detectors.
Change the batteries in your smoke detectors, as Izzo says, because emergencies know no holidays.
Correct.
Yeah, I've learned this now. Jeff KS0JD, member for 7 months. Thank you for the shout out. So, Greg, let's kind of like transform this over to Rotuma 2024. What's the game plan? Who you got coming along with you? I know we've got Nathan and we got Connor here, but I noticed on the website there's a couple other people that are coming along. And kind of what's the game plan that you guys
have?
So
the game plan here is to expose as many young people to the thrills of DxPeditioning that we possibly can. And we're doing that by leveraging the technology that we developed as well as Starlink. And so there's going to be a press release coming out in a couple days, and I'm going to leak it now. And we're calling it 3D2 Yankee by the numbers. That's our call sign, 3 Delta 2 Yankee. We have 43 young operators that are members of YOTA. The average age is 20 years old.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. We have 3 YOTA operators on island, Lucas, Jamie, and Connor. The average age is 23 years old. Of these operators, of these 46 YOTA operators, 20 are CW ops. Almost half.
Hold on. You said 40 are
43
are youngsters,
yes.
And 20 of them are CW operators.
Isn't that amazing? I almost dropped the F-bomb here, but
it's okay. We're 50 minutes in. It's okay. It's a safe place.
Okay.
You're good.
So a little more about the numbers. We have 18 Elmers that are on the trip. These are seasoned DXers and DxPeditioners. The off-island team congregates on a Slack channel. And that's where they collaborate, they develop relationships, they talk about propagation, operating techniques, all these things. We have 14 countries represented, 4 continents, 6 YLs.
Really? Wow.
We're going to be on
you have your own. You have a DxPedition YL Systems Net. Just say.
Yeah,
you actually have YLs on there.
We're going to be on the air for 20 days.
We have a kick at the YLs.
The average temperature on Rotuma is 82 degrees. The heat index typically is 100.
Yeah, I saw that.
The wind always blows on Rotuma. It depends on which way you're facing, because I won't go there.
Right.
The average rainfall in November is 8.6 inches. It rains 3 days out of 4. There's a ranking for the density of mosquitoes. Rotuma is rated extreme. It doesn't get any worse than that.
It's worse than Alaska.
Worse than Alaska. Maybe not as big. And there is a grocery store on Rotuma, and it's open 1 day a week.
Walmart?
I guarantee it's probably a 20-foot cargo container or something small.
Probably so.
There are no ATM machines. So
cash is king.
Fijian dollars is king, and we're bringing a big stack of Fijian dollars.
Rick Samshak says 20 CW operators. Now I feel inadequate. 20 CW operators. So if you are into CW, this is the DxPedition for you.
And one of our young ops She just joined the team last week. I've never met her, but I know a couple of my friends who have been on the air with her, and she doesn't break a sweat at 50 words a minute. And she's 19 years old.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I look at 20 and go,
It took me a while to get to 20. I had to go through every hand class.
Someone needs to
get there.
Somebody needs to find a YouTube video of 50 words per minute so that we could show everybody who's not used to CW what 50 words a minute sounds like. So Steve or Izzo or Joe Brad.
Sounds like the flight of the bumblebee.
Pretty much, yes, absolutely. So I was looking on your website, and it looks like you guys have 3 500-watt Elecraft stations, and you're going to do 6 meters through 160 meters.
Including EME.
Including EME.
So EME is a challenge on a DxPedition because it takes resources, and we're a small team, and they only make a handful of contacts. But the beauty is we've got remote access over Starlink, so we have EME experts who are going to operate the EME station remotely.
Nice.
That's awesome. What would we do without Starlink?
It's a game changer.
It's
my cell phone rings on
a game changer. You're right. It's a game changer.
It's a total game changer.
Story. I was on Ducey Island last year, and my job is real estate. I wrote a contract on a house sitting on a beach chair on an uninhabited island in the Pacific.
Greg, I thought
Slightly
I saw something
jealous.
on the website regarding real live logging. Correct?
Yeah, we'll be uploading the club log in real time, so your contacts will be posted within seconds. We also have a bit of a contest. On club log, there's this thing called leaderboard, and it tracks who works the most contacts by band and mode. We're going to give the leaders on leaderboard, the top 5 leaderboard stations on each continent are going to receive a personalized bound photo album that documents our trip.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And then
the
next 50 are going to get a personalized certificate signed by the team members.
Nice.
Somebody needs to collect a vial of sand and send that to me. That'd be awesome.
You know what? I get requests all the time. There's a guy in Italy that's got dirt from every place I've been.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, absolutely.
I've done that. Every exotic place I've been, that's where I always grab a little bit of sand and bring it back with me. So this is fantastic, and it looks like you guys are going to be able to work like tons of folks. What is your antenna setup for those Elecraft stations and for those rig in a box? How's that kind of set up?
There are 2 types of antennas. The rig in the box has it's a non-resonant multi-band antenna that has a remote and tuner at the base, because you can imagine as a remote operator trying to switch antennas and stuff, it doesn't work.
Right.
Then for the local stations, we have vertical dipoles. They're going to be right on the water's edge. They play extremely well.
A little saltwater propagation in there.
A little salt.
Yeah, and then for 6 meters, we have a big 5-element Yagi, and for 80 and 160 and 60 meters and 30 meters we'll have verticals, and they'll all be right on the water.
And they're only 2,800 miles from Honolulu.
Only.
Hey, you're going to drop
the week I'm going to be there.
Only.
I'm going to work you from Honolulu.
While Steve's gone, I'm going to work you from his station in South Carolina. So I worked Juan Fernandez from Steve's station, and it worked out fantastic. So
did you work the FT8? Did you work FT8?
No, I worked sideband.
Okay.
So Steve, make sure that your radio is plugged in, because we got to make that work.
I'll hook up a 7300 for you.
Turn off the
That
stove.
Works for me.
And we're going to do a podcast
stove's
with you
long.
all from Rotuma.
That would be great. If you guys did, even if it's not a long one, if y'all could check in on a Tuesday night when you're there, we'll work on the logistics in the background. But I would love to have you guys
Tuesday night
making contacts live. You don't even have to talk to us. We'll just pipe you in every now and then so that we can hear you making contacts in this DxPedition.
Hey,
that
Greg,
would be fantastic.
Greg, I got a question for you or the other guy, a logistic question. You guys mentioned on the website you're going to have a generator on there and some filtering available if needed. I understand the range. I also went to, and I like you, I looked at the elements to see what you guys were going to be up against with precipitation, temperatures, etc. Was there a thought that says the generator and fuel is going to will better meet our needs versus battery and solar power? I know it rains.
Oh, great question.
Is there a kind of an A/B of what meets our needs as well as our duration?
So the problem is weight and mass. The charges for air shipments are based on weight and mass.
Okay.
We shipped 330 kilos of gear, and it cost us $14,000. The electrical service to where we're staying is 220 volts at 16 amps. So we really can't take much from the grid.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Yeah.
So and our host has a generator, and we're estimating that our fuel costs are going to be $1,200 to $1,500 US.
But that's still bringing your fuel onto the island, correct?
The fuel is being brought over from Fiji by boat.
Versus in your planning, did you look at batteries and solar power to supplement or solely be your power source?
If we did solar and batteries, it would have doubled our shipping cost.
It would have. Okay. Enough said then. Yeah.
Wow.
Enough said. Yeah.
So there's some pictures teed up here. Up in the upper left-hand corner, that's one of the ribs. The rest of the gear you can see is when we delivered it to the freight forwarder. That is all of the gear for our expedition. What we had
all in that one spot.
What happened was we got a bad quote for equipment. We were told it would cost us about $8,000 to ship it. When we got our final quote, we had to cut what we shipped by 50%.
Oh wow!
And it was still 14 grand, and we're carrying our radios. So it was a massive overhaul. And you can see it's shrink wrapped. It went by truck from Atlanta to LAX. Then it went by Qantas from LAX to Auckland to Sydney to Fiji. The beautiful thing was our host on Rotuma, his son-in-law lives on Fiji. He received our gear from customs, repackaged it, put it on the boat for Rotuma, and didn't charge us a dime.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Oh.
That's awesome.
And then the picture in the middle with the 3 radios, that's 2 K3s and a K4. So that's 3 self-contained stations. And we don't have to set up a network because the router, the Ethernet switches, everything is contained in the rib. It's all very much plug and play.
And I'm just going to throw this out there for anyone who said, any of the naysayers that says remote operations is cheating, go stick your head in the sand, because this is opening up this hobby, this opportunity to so many people who would not have this opportunity had it not been for the people who would take this equipment and take it on site so that this remote operation could be possible. So I just want to say, we're going to get them in the comments. People are going to be naysayers about it, but I just want to say, go stick your head in the dirt, because these people are making changes and making this hobby more attractive to the people in the future, the operators of the future. So kiss my ever-loving keister if you have a problem with that.
So we got funding for the expedition. I built the ribs out of pocket.
That's awesome.
Now your ribs, are they like the SKV box, Gator boxes, 19-inch rack mounted, 6 U's? It looks. I'm looking at that. I'm like, I know those boxes.
They're Gator cases out of Florida, and they're the 3RU version. It's the smallest one they make. No, they actually have smaller ones, but this is the smallest one we could fit it into. Right. Size matters.
Nice job.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice job with that.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. Even though with having to downscale, I mean, it looks
Shane,
like.
Shane, just to follow up, these guys are doing what they want to do. Just like for your POTA, like for your home station, you do what you want to do. And if anybody has criticism,
you want to go do a DxPedition? Go do it yourself. Go out there,
Boy,
set up your battery in the mower, just go out
that.
there. I don't care. You go do it. You want to do it better? You go do it.
Give me the money. Show me the money. Give me the money
Right.
to do it.
You know what? So a year or so ago, 2 years ago, there was all this pushback about people who were doing automated FT8. And now it's
Joe Brett.
And there are people who are naysayers about this. and Connor knows where I'm going with this because he's got that grin on his face because he just heard it the other night. Technology is like a freight train. It has mass and momentum. Good luck trying to slow it down or regulate it.
That's right.
Absolutely. And if you try to, whatever. You're in.
Shane, I got your 50 words a minute teed up.
Oh, play it. I got to hear this.
Well,
do I need to add it or you need to add it?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and add it.
So this is what 50 words a minute sounds like.
Some.
Wait, that
would.
That's a word?
Yeah.
Full auto.
Go. There. Then.
So that's Kurt's, top 100 words at 50 words a minute.
What he said.
Jesus.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow. All right. For those of you that are making me look bad with your 50 words a minute or your 20 words a minute, now I feel ham shamed.
5 words a minute.
Yeah. I was going to say, I can't do 1 a minute, so you're fine.
So, Nathan, what attracted you to this, to the Rotuma Island and brought you into this? Or did Greg just send you an email and said, you got to do this? Or what?
Yeah, I got an idea, pal. Join me.
What kind of brought you into this whole thing?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, he actually did. We were actually talking about some stuff, and then all of a sudden he gave me a call. He's like, "This is probably the call that you wanted for a while." I'm like, "That I don't know." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And so yeah, he's like, "Do you want to go on a expedition?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you really couldn't have caught me at like a worse time." But you're twisting my arm, so it's just one of those things. I've been trying to back out for like 9 months on this. And he's not
It's a terrible place to go.
I've got those big, heavy tie wraps. He's not going anywhere.
Those night ties.
The ones they use for handcuffs.
So Connor, what are you most excited about, or what are you, other than going to this really cool place and operating ham radio, what is kind of your draw to this whole expedition thing?
Well, the big thing that I'm just catching up, besides going on a place, going to somewhere that's a new, different entity, is catching up with other operators. And especially when we got Lucas and Jamie, it's like they have a totally different spin of where they've been, what they've done. Jamie's been on a DxPedition before. It's going to be Lucas's first time on a DxPedition, but I mean, really good operators, youth operators, and it's going to be a blast to learn from them, learn from Greg, learn from Nathan, learn from Dean, learn from everybody of just various things to put together. And I've learned something so far of front end and various things of figuring things out, but it's another thing when you're there and setting stuff up and having to MacGyver things when something doesn't go right. It's all those little things, nuances that you get.
Probably in learning the logistics of all of this, how are we going to make this happen? That's the next thing. It's one thing hopping on an airplane with a backpack with a radio and getting there versus having to send a pallet of stuff that costs, $15,000 to get it over there. But it looks like Jamie is Mike 0 Sierra Delta Victor and Lucas is Lima Yankee 7 Juliet. So Mike 0, so that's a UK call sign, and Lima Yankee 7 is 7 Juliet is you said Lithuania, Greg?
Yes.
So I know they're not here tonight, but how did you guys kind of connect with them? Was it just word of mouth, or kind of where did that come from?
Well, I knew of Jamie because he's done some contest trips and he's been on an expedition. And one of the thought processes I went through is you can't just bring one youth, because young people, they do things differently. They think differently than us old farts do. And so,
amen to that.
And having 3 young people on the team who can build a relationship amongst themselves. And I talked about this is the beginning of a process. I've got 3 young guys on the team now that they may go off next year and lead an expedition because of the relationships that they forged on this trip. So I thought it was really important to have a youth team as opposed to just a youth individual.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And the
also
fact that
makes for cheap labor.
Earn your keep.
You know what? I'm this guy.
Yeah. We should go. We need this radio to get moved over here because you guys take care of that. But you're absolutely right, because this hobby will die if we don't get youth involved. And how I can't think of a better way to get youth involved than to get them onto an island in the middle of nowhere and say, guess what? We're going to be self-sustaining. We're going to make contacts around the world, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Greg, what's the plan? Because we all do this ourselves in our own personal worlds of, winter field days that we operate, field days. Yeah, I don't care whatever, any on-air operating, downtime. Now, let's face it, the youth's downtime perspective may be a little bit different than the adults like our age, but what are you guys thinking? Swimming, eating, fishing, snorkeling? I mean, what's available to give a little bit of a balance?
Well, I can walk from our operating location and jump in the ocean. So that's how I'm going to cool off.
I'm kind of jealous.
As far as the operating
very
schedule,
jealous.
Connor and Jamie own it. They're doing the operating schedule. And along with Lucas, that's how they learn. If I put together an operating schedule, they're looking at a spreadsheet, but they don't know what went into it.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
right.
Now they're having to think it through.
Own it. Yeah, own it.
They own as much as anybody else on this trip.
But that's also out of necessity, though, Greg. I mean, you've been like heads down on this for months, and I just want to do like a huge shout out to Greg. As far as like the logistics and all that kind of stuff, he's been nailing this. And I mean, granted, I've got a little small portion of this, but I'm getting like emails at like 2 and 3 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, and he just like that, like all day, every day. So, like I said, I mean, definitely kudos to him. He has made this look really, really easy, but he's put in the time huge.
Yeah, I'm fried. I've spent a week off visiting my daughter and her family in Vermont. I really needed it. The good news was I recharged my batteries. The bad news was I had twice as much stuff on my plate when I got back.
Story of my life. I was about to say, I was like, Greg, it looks like this putting the logistics and all this together is that within itself. If you've never tried to plan logistics for anything, count yourself blessed, because this is logistics to getting things anywhere. I happen to be part of a hot air balloon community who participates in competitions on the other side of the pond, and getting things over there, especially things that aren't just something you could put on a FedEx flight. There is so much involved with that.
So a friend of mine said, and I need to talk to my colleagues about this because they help reinforce me and keep my energy level up. But he said, all of the work is done when you get on the airplane.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, and here's the challenge. It's easy to engage the young people on the trip, but I've got to figure out a way to engage them in the planning process and take ownership of some of that, because if you don't learn how to do that, there's no point in getting on the plane.
Right.
Is there any plans? I love going to you, especially YouTube, where you see these a year, 18 months, 2 years later, there was the behind the scenes film rolling, B-rolling. Will something like that be done? Can you give us a teaser that says maybe a year from now you'll see what it's our planning and our landing and how we did things and packed it all up and moved. Anything? Can you give us a little bit of a tease? Will something like that be available to us?
We're going to do our best to document the trip. Lucas LY7J is a professional photographer. I can promise you that we're going to have plenty of still stuff. I was just thinking the other day, I need to bring a USB camera along so that we can record some of the operation, so we can do a decent podcast other than on a smartphone. So we're going to pack a camera, a USB camera, and we'll use it to the best of our ability.
Don't discount the smartphone, because there has been motion pictures shot on these.
Well, you know what?
Don't discount them.
Don't tell me you caught me on that at that point in time.
So let's talk about, you guys have a band plan and a kind of an idea of where you're going to be. So I know we need to make sure that everyone who's watching, that they have the call sign added into their ham alert. But also, if you don't see that, you guys are going to be in specific areas, right?
So there's going to be a minor change to the band map, because when you lay these frequency plans out, you need to do it in a way where there's no harmonic relationship between the bands. And right now we got a couple of frequencies that are harmonically related. Like the 80 meter CW frequency is very closely harmonically related to the 40 meter FT8 frequency. We got to fix that, or else we're going to be talking to ourselves.
And I'm sure you have like bandpass filters and stuff like that, right?
We do.
Okay.
But
so, is there like any major modifications to what is being seen here? So if someone's watching, say tomorrow or the next day, they can screen.
Visit the website, because there will be an update in the next week or so. It's going to be a minor tweak. I looked at it. I only found one potential issue, but I will go through, and what I do is I put all that into a spreadsheet. I do a little math, and if it comes out to be this number is close to twice as much as that number, then we'll move some things around to make sure that the interstation interference is kept to a minimum.
This is all right. The 40 meter.
So for those, yes,
I got one thing for you.
Yeah, no, far away.
We haven't thought about maybe, or we haven't talked about yet. I don't know if you're going to get to it. Is that during that weekend? I know everybody was mind shocked that how many CW operators we got on the team, remote and local. That weekend, it's actually this year. It's not Thanksgiving weekend, but it's the weekend after Thanksgiving. Is CQ Worldwide CW, and so there's going to be some serious efforts from CQ World. Or
we may have two stations on for CQ Worldwide. We'll have a multi-2 operation, which is going to be run by the on-island team. I'm working with our host to take one of the ribs and our Starlink and stick it somewhere else on the island and have the remote ops do their own CQ Worldwide effort, which will be a multi-single.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And for those of you who haven't seen it yet, this is November the 15th through December the 4th. Hopefully I got those right. November the 15th through December the 4th.
Yeah, so we'll probably be on the air from the 16th, because Fiji's on the other side of the date line.
Of course.
And we'll probably be tearing down on the 2nd or 3rd, because we have to prep our stuff for storage, get it ready. And at some point in time, I got to figure out how to ship it back. I haven't even put any thought into that.
Don't tell backpacks and lots of people.
They will get the radio back.
So what is let's see, what's so we know this is a monumental task. Is there, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to say this, is what's the celebratory piece of it? It's like we've got Joda, and we haven't even mentioned Joda. So was it Joda or Youth on the Air? It's Yoda. Youth on the Air.
Yoda, yes.
It's all right. Sorry, I get those confused quite a bit. So what is the plan? Is there like a specific time window that you're going to have the Youth on the Air there? Because there might be folks that are watching that might be really interested in making sure that they contact the youth. Kind of what's the thought process there?
So the Youth on the Air will be active for the entire duration of the expedition. We haven't gotten it done yet, but in Club Log, you can upload the pictures of the operators, and so you'll know who you're working. And we've published a list of who the remote operators are. And so that's going to be really the only way you're going to know, because we're just going to use one call sign. Everybody will be signing 3 Delta 2 Yankee.
I think it's exciting that not only are you bringing the youth on the air, but you're bringing the DXCC end of it. You're bringing the islands on the air, because it's an island in itself, in the category of islands on the air, I believe. So you got a lot of things going on here for ham radio operators, regardless of the mode. You got a lot of chasing, got a lot of ability. I think for a guy like me on the East Coast, it's going to be a learning experience for me of when I could potentially work you guys. Am I going to be able to do it on 10, on 20 meters, 15 meters, whatever? And I like that. I like the challenge of it. And then after that, it's just going to be about the sun and a propagation for those days. It is what it is, and somehow we'll all make it work. And
one of the thought processes behind staying so long was anticipating that we might have a couple of days blackout from a solar flare. The longer you're there, the better chance you have of having more days of good propagation.
What have we learned, Greg, too? That prior to the blackout, or like a G3, G4, G5, conditions go crazy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden flattens out, and then all of a sudden starts creeping up when people don't expect it or whatever. So once again, guys, put this stuff into your ham alert, and and so what if you got to hop off the tractor, hop off from doing any honeydew list, and just run to the radio if you have to. I mean, we all do that. That's half the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I like that. I like it.
Awesome.
All right. So what else can we add? We've got the equipment covered. We got your PayPal link. Hopefully those of you who are watching have made a chance to go down to the PayPal link. Those of you who might be on the podcast, the PayPal link will be in the podcast description. So be sure and check that out. Steve, thanks for posting that. But anything else you guys would like to add? I've asked you so much, and I feel like we've talked so little. So anything else you guys would like to add about, after this, kind of like what's next? Have you already started planning the next DxPedition, or kind of where are you at with that?
So the answer is yes. So my goal is to enable 2 youth-focused DxPeditions for next year. They may not be to some places remote as Rotuma, but that's not really the primary goal. The primary goal is to generate interest and get some experience out there, and get these guys excited about doing it, because they can do it. One of the things we didn't touch on is, a lot of these DXCC entities are very rare. And the reason they're rare is because they're protected environmental areas. Through a lot of effort, knowledge, and relationships, sometimes we get permission to go there. But that's a whole different aspect. That knowledge of making the work, the application to go to Navasa was 300 pages.
Holy cow.
Wow. Now, the folks that did that, they're not getting any younger. And if we don't get younger operators engaged and get that knowledge transferred, it's going to be a start over.
Right.
And we don't
or it goes away.
Or it goes away, exactly.
I mean, we don't want to acknowledge that, but that's the matter of fact is, if we don't foster this, then it goes away, and we don't get to work these really cool entities like this.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of fact.
So there's the trip and there's the project.
Yeah.
The trip is just step 1.
Wow.
I think I've got to do a DxPedition before I retire from ham radio. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I got to hook up with you guys at some point, because I think that would be a blast to go out and also help fundraise and bring awareness to this. There's so many avenues with social media, with YouTube, that we don't touch on. That everyone thinks that this hobby is, I'm going to rag chew on 7.200 every night and just have fun with it. But they don't. Or on 80 meters, talking about what ails you this week. They don't touch on the fact that you can go to these exotic places and you could talk to other people around the world who would love to speak to you. And a lot of what I love about YouTube is it brings the opportunity to see and hear what it's like for someone to speak to. Like I made, the last time I was at summer, I think it was summer field day. I talked to Switzerland, Switzerland, sitting in a chair having a beer, and I'm sitting there talking to someone in Switzerland. So to me, that was fantastic. But to be in an absolute remote location, totally self-sufficient, and still being able to make those contacts and to hear there's joy on the other end of that radio whenever you make that contact, because the people who are working Juan Fernandez, whenever they acknowledged me, I was giggling to no end trying to give them my signal report because I was just shocked that I could make it through their pileup. So these DxPeditions are things that are personal to me, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing this, A, and B, that you're thinking about who's going to do this after we're gone, because that's what this is about. Because if we don't foster this, if we don't teach people like Connor, we don't teach people like, Jamie and the rest of them, we don't teach them this, or we don't give this some experience, this hobby goes away, or this aspect of this hobby goes away.
Correct.
And then it is a very important piece of it. Let's go to a remote location. Let's be so self-sufficient and prove to the world that I can put a piece of wire in the air and I can literally talk to you around the world with a battery, a radio, and a piece of wire. Now it'll be a little bit better. I know you guys are going to have a little bit better to set up than that, but literally that's what it takes. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like the hobby in itself and the excitement that it generates when I'm calling CQ Parks on the air and I hear a mic 0 and I'm like, wait a minute, that's over in the UK. And like, wait a minute, that's 4 hops from where I'm at. Like my signal just went halfway around the world. Or if you happen to be fortunate enough to where you can hear your signal coming back to you and you hear that little faint echo, and knowing that your signal has circumnavigated this planet and landed back at your own radio, that just blows my mind. And just the fact that you guys are making this happen, that's why you're here. That's why we want to be a part of it, because we want to help bring awareness and make this happen to other people and give them the experience. And the fact that you're the remote ability for the youth on the air, that's a game changer with Starlink. That's a total game changer.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I was looking at the remote ops, both the youth and the Elmers, and it's interesting to see names that we know in there. Like one of the Elmers is Steve Molo.
Yeah,
our buddy from Gigaparts.
Nice.
So, and then of course you've got Hope Lee is one of the operators. We all know the Lee family.
I'm going to swear a little bit. It pisses me off whenever you have somebody who takes a shit on whatever you're doing because they're like, well, you're doing this remote. That's not real ham radio. Someone set up a station in a location and allowed me access to work a radio from that. Am I sitting in that location? No, but the RF that you're hearing is from that location. So get over it. Get over yourself and shut up. Because I just can't stand that.
In a year, it will be the norm.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Everybody,
absolutely.
Because
you have people like me who can't put up a station because I just don't have the physical space. But I have people like Eric that says, "Hey, you know what? I have a radio you can use," or the Grouch, I have a radio that you can use. Just use it. Just log into it. Or Steve has been my biggest champion since I told them that I had to get rid of my station because I had no space. Steve has been like, just remote into my station. I've made contacts over the UK and several countries in Europe
beforehand, so I can lock the stove.
So you can lock the stove. So I start making muffins. I've talked to Callum on multiple different bands. I've talked to DxPeditions. I've had all this fun in amateur radio because someone said, you know what, just remote into my station. I've got the equipment set up for you to use it, enjoy it. I don't know why people shit on that. That just pisses me off.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, like maybe a year or two from now, how many of those like 40 plus youth took this as a vehicle to get interested. And now they're going on trip doing the same thing for their friends.
And they need to reach out to us because we would be
like 2 years from now.
So we do online testing every month and on demand. So if anyone that's out there in YouTube land or in podcast land, if you want to get your license, reach out to the Ham Radio Clubhouse, hit us up in Discord. The links are down in the description of the video. We will set up a session because we have the ability to get you licensed, and we want to help you. We want to help you get there. And
All you gotta do is ask.
all you got to just say so. Say, hey, I want to take my tech test. I want to take my general test. I want to be an extra. Just let me know, and we will make that happen for you, because that's why we're here. That's why we've done this for 189 shows now. That's our purpose, is to spread this word to the community.
It's not about barbecue potato chips.
Exactly. Greg, Nathan, and Connor, and I'm so glad you guys emailed us and said, hey, we'd like to come chat with you guys, because this has been absolutely fantastic. I'm pumped up, if you can't tell. I want to make contact with you guys while you're there. Hopefully I will get you in the logbook. And I'm going to segue into that, QSL cards. So once you guys are down there, do y'all have a QSL card set up, ready to go? Kind of what's the process that way? Because there are people who like to chase paper.
So the process is we'll take the photographs that we've taken on the trip, and we'll come up with a QSL card design. This card may end up being a trifold card, because we've got a big story to tell.
Gorgeous area, yeah.
We got 60 some operators. We're gonna have to figure that out. We have a QSL manager. He's on our website. We do OQRS. We're going to do LOTW. Donors who donate before we leave or before we arrive on Rotuma, we'll get a we'll get LOTW. Nathan, he probably knows the process better than I do. But it pays to donate, because you do get the benefit that you get to take advantage of OQRS, which is the online QSL service.
Do you want to expand a little bit on that, Nathan, on how that process works? Is it just as long as you make contact and you're a part of that, or how do people access that piece of it?
So being that we're live streaming to Club Log, you'll be able to actually go on and confirm your contact. And then whenever you do, you can go straight to requesting a card. And there's going to be a couple of different options down there with different various, donations that are requested. And then once you do that, then everything's in place for it to be done by the QSL manager, which is a great individual, by the way. So I'm sure he's going to do a great job on that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Or to make Connor do that, right?
Not if you want it done. That's like Frank uploading your logs.
Yeah. I'll have the time. I was like, okay, there's going to be a trade. So, but yeah, it's going to be a blast. And
Yes.
Everybody's going to have fun. And that's like of course, we want everybody to come back, everybody do good. But then it's like, have fun. Everybody have fun on the island. Everybody have fun remote. Everybody have fun working us. If it takes that extra day, we'll be there. We'll be there all the way through. So if it's not day one, we got day 2. You got day 3. There's a lot of opportunity to work us.
What I would like to say, if for those that are watching or will watch at some point, if you're on the island, record a video. You may not know how to edit it, or you may not know how to make it into a YouTube video or whatever, but just seeing that interaction with people, that's if you want me to edit it for you, send me the footage. I have a Google Drive with like 10 terabytes of data. Send it to me, because I would love to see if no one wants to put the video stuff together, let me know. I'll take care of it. Because
Shane,
I would
really
love
appreciate that. That's a gap we haven't addressed, and it's important.
I would love to see video from people who are there on the island. But not only that, if you go to make a contact with these folks, record yourself. Like, I want to see both ends of that QSO. And let's make a video out of that. But let's document this to where we can show, like, hey, I'm 5,000 miles away, or 7,000 miles away, or 10,000 miles away, or I'm 100 miles away, and we made this happen. So let's make sure you document that. That's the big thing, is if you're working the radio down there, or if you're working the radio at home, let us know that you have that footage. You made contact with this DxPedition, and we'll put it together and make a video out of it. I hope we get to over Starlink. I hope we get to see you guys live doing that. That'd be fantastic. But I think this really needs to bring in the fact that we should document and upload this to somewhere where anyone can see it from now until whenever, and they can see that this group of people did this. This is the context that we made. Here is us doing that. So I'm a little sentimental. I like YouTube. Don't get me wrong. So I'm a little sappy, but I think these are monumentous moments in the hobby and in our, both ours and individual lifetimes. And I think we need to make sure that we document that so that we can go back when I'm 80 years old. I want to go back to YouTube and say, I did that, or I was part of that, or I edited that, or I made this stupid mistake, or I was drunk in Mexico and recorded this. That's memories, and we're going to forget this at some point. But now that we have the technology and the opportunity to promote that, I think we should harness that. So let me know if you need any help with that. I'll be more than happy to take care of it for you.
Thank you, and we will take you up on your offer.
I'll give you a link to my Google Drive. Just upload your footage. I'll take care of it.
Cool.
Hey, Shane.
Yep.
So I apologize if my audio is not the best. Everyone knows I'm working on a backup here. But a couple things for these guys. Number one, I want a motion that these guys and their whole entire team become guests. They are now family. Our guests now become members into the clubhouse. I want these guys in.
I'll second that. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we're gonna go with Greg and Nathan and Connor. And then, even though they're not here, I know we have Dean, W2, Whiskey 2, Foxtrot, Quebec. We have Jamie, Mike 0, Sierra Delta Victor. Whiskey's kicking in. Lucas, Lima Yankee 7, Juliet, and all of you guys. You're welcome to the family of the clubhouse. If you need anything, however we can support you to get the word out, you guys let us know. We're here for you.
All right. And now the next thing. I want them to please consider, if these guys can't come back, someone else from the team, maybe a year from now, to come back and tell us as a follow-up.
Oh, we can get Connor back.
Oh, that's not a problem.
I've got Connor's direct line.
Now, we have to do the lightning round, and I do have a special question for them in the lightning round.
Okay.
All right, Izzo, I'm gonna try to turn your mic up, but fire away.
All right, guys. Answer it one individually. Chicken, fish, or steak? What do you like?
Connor,
you first.
Chicken.
Nathan.
Steak.
Greg.
Fish, because that's what we're going to be eating on Rotuma.
He's already prepared himself.
Next question. What's your favorite ice cream, Connor? If you like ice cream.
Yeah, mint chocolate chip.
Nathan.
Strawberry.
Vanilla.
Greg.
Just plain up homemade vanilla?
But it's got to be vanilla bean. It's got to be the real deal.
The legit stuff. All right.
No extra, Shane. You have no idea.
All right, next question. Are we ready? What's your favorite snack? If you had to go, you got the munchies, you want a snack on this, whatever it is. Connor.
Oh, that'd be Cheez-Its probably.
Cheez-Its. Nathan.
Just plain Cheez-Its?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Cheez-Its dust all over your station, don't you, Connor?
No, it's all over Kyle's remote.
All his keyboards have yellow stains on them.
You get Cheez-It crap on my radio, you're in trouble.
Dude, this is what you're on the Clubhouse. It's not always about radio. All right, Nathan, what about you?
I want a health kick. It's got to be flavored almonds.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Jalapeno.
Excellent. Greg?
Not try to jalapeno. That's a good idea, though.
Trail mix.
All right.
Any particular type of trail mix, because there's multiple.
It's got it, no peanuts. Peanuts suck.
Okay.
But dried fruit, walnut, almonds.
Okay.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All right. And by a show of a thumb up or a thumb down, Connor, barbecue potato chips.
Yo, yeah.
Nathan. Greg, we can't see it.
Greg probably agrees with you.
Two other questions.
Greg might get voted off the island.
When you get on the island, can you buy barbecue potato chips? Do you know? Can you buy barbecue potato chips? Or we don't know that answer. Maybe you're going to have to let us know.
It's neutral. He's probably going to take them with him for those that like them.
All right. And the final question.
Hey. No, I'm not first because I know the story. So you got to ask somebody else.
No, you're first. No, you're first.
Because I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it away. That's the problem.
All right. So let's start with Greg.
Go
Greg,
backwards.
Favorite band? What's your favorite band?
Da, 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 da.
And you can interpret that any way you
Da,
want.
da, 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 da. Favorite band, Greg? What is it?
Allman Brothers.
Yeah! All right, he took it away from Ham Radio. That's gives it away for Nathan. So, Nathan, what's your favorite band?
Chicago.
Oh, I saw them in Las Vegas. Fantastic.
Oh,
And Mr.
Connor?
Oh, I'll go Imagine Dragons.
I'm with you there. That'll work. That works. Great variety.
There.
All right, over to you, Izzo. Sorry.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You
I got
done?
my question here. That's it, man.
Where did Joe Brett go? Did he fall out?
yeah, he was having internet issues. I think they hit the fiber there by his place. He's in the chat.
Gotcha. All right.
If you're watching the Discord, you would have saw that. But
I'm not. No, I pay attention to our guests. I don't watch the Discord. So
This is so exciting. Guys, this is exciting.
I'm pumped, dude. I'm sorry. I'm pumped.
This is
Shane,
so
there's a starred
exciting stuff.
question.
You know,
there for
I'll tell you what, I needed this because
Call it.
I haven't had a laugh in a while. I've been heads down working, and this has been awesome. Thank you very much.
That's why we're here. So that's what we're here for.
A question. Yes, we're going to do Super Fox on all
Super
bands
Fox,
except for 6 meters. There may be times when propagation conditions make Super Fox a little bit more challenging. At that point, we'll either fall back to conventional Fox and Hound, but Super Fox will be our FT8 mode of choice.
All right, explain what Super Fox is. I don't know what that, and maybe there's.
I was about to say I don't
Super
either.
Fox?
So go right ahead.
Super Fox is a new variant of FT8 that allows you to work multiple stations simultaneously.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's possible to achieve rates of 400 to 500 QSOs an hour.
Wow.
You need to
I know how I'm doing my POTA now.
The WSJT website and download WSJT release candidate RC number 7.
And that's got Super Fox built into it.
And it's got the Super Fox built into it. Yes.
Okay.
And
Cool.
the big thing is that Foxhound, you could run multiple signals, but they spread the signal across the multiple signals. So that if you're working more people, the signals are worse, or signals are like lower. But in Super Fox, it's not. Super Fox, it's like sending like one packet message of like all like you're working 5 people or whatever, and that's all together. So,
wow. Okay.
So I was gonna ask your favorite radio, but I think you're obligated to say Elecraft because you guys are taking Elecraft
Kind of
radio.
sponsored.
So I'm just gonna I'll just skip over that.
Elecraft.
Yep, absolutely. I don't disagree at all. 80 folks are watching right now. Greg, is there anything you'd like to show before we wrap it up tonight? Is there anything you'd like to let those folks know other than to check out the PayPal link below? I'll get that added for anyone who would like to make a donation.
First of all, I want to thank you guys because this has been more fun than I ever anticipated.
Good. That's why we're here.
I'm all about cutting up when you got the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
But on the expedition, we're going to be doing a fair share of cutting up, but we're going to be butts in the chair, making as many cues as possible with as many unique stations as possible. And again, thank you for the plug for the donation. It is very important. And I will say that I just went to our PayPal page, and it's being here with you has generated some donations.
Yeah, good job. That's what we like to hear.
I'm getting the
If you were going to super chat tonight, I would rather you super chat to their PayPal account. So for those of you who are,
put it to these guys.
yeah, if you want to drop a donation in YouTube or Spreaker, for those of you who are watching the podcast, there's going to be a link down there. Make sure you donate to those guys. Don't donate to us. These guys need that money more than we do. So we want to support you guys. So we totally look forward.
If you're going to be in Dayton, let's make sure we toss a couple back.
Joe Brett will probably be there. I won't be. I'm not going to be there this year. I'm not sure about Izzo. He'll let us know. Steve's normally there.
No, I have not made Dayton yet. It's on my list.
Are you going to Dayton,
Brett?
No, I'm not going to Dayton, but Nathan will tell you I am.
I go to Huntsville. I go to Huntsville all the time. Huntsville's my baby.
You drag me to the North Pole, my friend.
But don't super chat us. Make a $1 donation to the folks on PayPal. Make it if you wanted to give us 50 cents, do it to their account. Make this happen for those folks, because we really want to see this to be successful.
To everyone watching and listening to this show, I want to see all of the social media platforms get flooded. Hey guys, not about us, the Clubhouse. This is about these guys. Send a link in your tweet, in your Facebook, whatever else you're doing. Instagram. Send it over to your club member. Send it, whoever does your press releases, whether it's a secretary or president. Get the word out that this is going on with the link to the website and the PayPal consideration.
Yeah.
And let's help out these great folks.
I got about 5,000 people who follow me on Instagram, so send me your pictures. I would
we have a
love to
upload
those.
We have a presence on Instagram and on Facebook. You can follow us there.
Send me those links in an email, and I'll be more than happy to add those to this episode as well as future episodes, because we're really excited for you guys. We really want this to be successful. We want everybody who's watching. There's almost 190 people watching right now. We want you guys to make contacts with these people while they're in this remote location. So let me know how we can help. We'll be there to help for you guys.
Yeah. And Shane, one thing to plug here is that keep in mind, I've done a bunch of contests. I've been portable ops and county lines. I've been semi-rare, but some people, some of these youth, it's their first time hearing a pileup, like a deep pileup. When you're running split, like split's another level. So, it'll be.
Are you guys running split?
Yeah, everything. Yeah,
they'll have to. Yeah.
Wait, what is split?
It doesn't involve a banana.
Okay.
There's no ice cream involved
this time.
So
it's 10 up. It's 10 up or 10 down. There you go.
And we listen up on another frequency. That way, the people who are calling us can always hear us. There's no calling on top of us.
Okay.
So we should probably have an episode that's dedicated to how you should run split when you're chasing a DxPedition.
And you can open it up with a banana split song.
Exactly.
Shane, that would be a great video for you to make, Shane. Oh wait, you don't have a radio to do it with.
I'll put it on the Clubhouse. The Clubhouse is more important. I'll do it virtually. All right, so let's go around the room. I want to start with Greg. Thanks you so much for joining us, Greg, Nathan, and Connor. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Anything final closing things you want to say? We're going to wrap this episode up tonight. So, Greg, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. This has been a great opportunity. I didn't know what to expect. I expected it to be kind of dry.
Neither do we.
Anything but dry. I could hang out here for a while, but my wife.
Welcome to the Clubhouse.
As is a bottle of Chardonnay that's only had one glass out of it, and so I'm going to go hit the Chardonnay a little bit, chill, watch some TV with my YL, and get back to working on this DxPedition at sunup tomorrow.
Yeah. Awesome. Over to you, Nathan.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate you guys taking the time to have us on. This has been an absolute blast. And yes, I didn't know what to expect either. But yeah, just to echo Greg's thought, that was this has been a whole lot of fun. We were planning on leaving Connor in LAX, but I think we'll let him go.
We'll let him join along.
That's all right. He's got people in LA that'll pick him up.
Hey, Connor, I need you to do a little weightlifting before we leave, because I got you. You need to carry my bags for me. You know?
There you go. See? Today's
rude.
That's gonna be fun.
No,
right.
If this is how this is,
thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Over to you, Connor.
Well, Connor's going to come home and his sister's going to go, "What did you guys do to my brother?"
He'll have a suntan. He'll have on his beating.
He'll have muscles.
A thousand contacts.
No, he'll have some Pacific Islander tattoos.
You know? I'm just thinking of that tattoo. Absolutely.
And I imagine she's busy tonight, so she's gonna watch. She's gonna be team replay, and it's gonna be.
Absolutely.
She's gonna enjoy. She's gonna enjoy you guys to a T.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I knew what I was expecting coming into this because I've known you guys for a while. I was like, okay, I kept them cold, and so thanks for having us on.
Thanks
Thanks,
for
man.
shooting that email. We're glad to have you.
Oh
Man, this is
man, it's
awesome.
a blast. So,
And as we close on most of these type of things we do, the last thing we say is see you in the pileups.
Absolutely. Izzo, over to you, Steve, and then I got one more thing to say before I wrap it up tonight.
Just smoking some good cigars. Got a couple days off coming up soon. We got Halloween here in the Northeast. I'm gonna do some early voting, get it done, and then get out there and play some POTA. And 1,000 thank yous to these guys and their entire team for what they're doing. Everyone behind the scenes, up front, and everyone, thank you. A million thank yous of whether I get to work here or not. The thing is going to be I'm going to try to work it, and that's to me is the fun right there, is being able to hear you. And this, just after that, it's all technique, and hopefully you guys are going to hear me in between those big stations, because I run 100 watts, but hey, you never know. You never know what can happen.
Propagation, baby. You got the DX Commander.
You never know. I got a few antennas here. I may be running from station to station, the 3 stations in the house here, off the different antennas.
Exactly.
Who cares, man? That's the fun of it. That's the fun of our hobby.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
You said the F word. You said fun.
Word.
We've said that a few times tonight.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get demonetized because of that, but it happens.
Oh, well.
And we
All right,
talked
Steve.
radio tonight. We talked radio.
A lot. The whole stream.
A lot of radio.
Whole
Coffee and
stream.
Ham radio. We did it tonight. Coffee and Ham radio. We did it tonight.
Good night,
Steve.
guys.
So, Greg, don't go anywhere too quick yet.
Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet.
Yep.
What are
I'm
you
looking
gonna
forward
do
to
me
working.
now?
Yep. Yeah, just hang on. I'm looking forward to working the guys from Hawaii. I'm also going to try to work them when I get back home, so I can work them from both my station as well as.
I'll work
closer.
them from your station just so you know.
Thanks.
I'll
What a good
definitely
friend.
have it set up
He's
for
such a
you.
good friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I've got a charity bike ride this weekend, so I'm going to have a podcast on, the phone, because I'm going to be in the woods, driving a support and gear vehicle, playing radio. So
Cool.
we'll see.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start this by saying thank you, Wayne, for the 7 months. We appreciate that. John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Frank, thank you for the 12 months. Great to have you on Spooktober. There you go. Phil, thank you for the 16 months. Jeff, thank you so much for the 7 months. Cooley, thank you for the 7 months. Jeff, also thank you for the 10 months, man. We appreciate you guys. Without your support, this would not be as fun as it is. And then here we are, 189 episodes, quickly closing 200. Chuck, WG5X, member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Rick Wilson. Are they
That was the Fox and
doing
Hound question.
Fox and Hound? We got
Yeah,
that taken
They
care
do.
of.
Super Fox.
Yep.
Right. And thank you, Jeff, for the 9 months. Thanks all. 73 to you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will see you next weekend. Everybody give an awkward wave to the camera. I think we're going to auto fire this. Yep, it's going to happen. 73. Guys,
See ya.
hang tight. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.